Today we're going to talk about our brand new glued sounds that are going to help us when we're reading. We've got our first one that we met today. Who can tell me what the sound is? What is it?
An.
And what word helps us remember it?
Fan.
Fan. So what letters make up an?
A-N.
Yeah, A-N. And what's the key word?
Fan.
And what's the sound? An. So let's say it like that all together. A-N, fan, an. Very good. Whenever we see a word that has an in it, we're going to try to remember that it is a glued sound, that we say it all together. We don't have to sound out all the letters. When we see A and N together, we know it says an. So that is one of the ones that we met yesterday. What's the other glued sound that we met? Yes.
A-M.
And what sound does it
Ham.
make?
A-N. Ham.
And what does it say? A-M, ham,
Am.
am. Very good. Let's all say it together. A-M, ham, am. Am is another glued sound. So there's lots of words that have our two new glued sounds in them. We're going to practice today writing some words that have glued sounds in them. I'm going to say a word. Then we're going to tap it out. And then I want you to try to write it. Remember, when we tap out glued sounds, we don't need to make all the sounds. Like for the word fan, what would I say if I was tapping it out? I would say and, fan. I wouldn't say all the letters. So let's try, Lila, erase what's on your board. Let's try an easy one first. Let's try the word fan. And, fan. Go ahead and write it on your board. When you've got it, hold it up in front of me so I know that you've got it. Okay. Put it right in front of your chest so I can see it. Okay. Oh, it looks like we've all got it. Boys and girls, how do we spell fan? F-A-N. Fan. And if we were sounding it out, we would do this. And, fan. But wait, Lila. There's one more thing that we need to do to a glued sound, to remember that it's a glued sound. How do we mark a glued sound? What do we do, Jadrick?
Box it.
We box it. So what should we box in this word?
A-N.
A-N. Write a box around A-N. That box, when we see it, helps us remember that those letters go together. They are a glued sound. And, fan. Okay, good job. Erase your boards. Okay, thank you. All right, boys and girls. So now let's try another word with a glued sound. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Our next word is jam. J-am. Jam. Write jam.
J.
Do it quietly so we can see if everybody can do it. And remember, boys and girls, when we're making our J, where should it start?
Oh, I forgot.
Where should it start? Tell me.
Plain line.
Plain line. Okay. Well, look again. What does that say that you wrote, Christian? J-an. Jan. What did I say?
Jam.
Yeah, you wrote a word with a glued sound, and that's a word too, but that's not the one that we said.
Now does it look a lot much more better?
Now it does. Oh, and I see Lila doing the thing I was going to ask you next. After you write your word, can you mark it, please? So, what goes next? Am, and how do I spell it? A.
A-M.
And then what do I do, Lila?
Box it.
I box it. So make sure there's a box around it.
This fire.
Yes.
Do you know when I just had one N and I said Jen, and then I will another N.
You just kind of connected and made another hump.
Another N.
Yeah. Okay. So look at yours. Look at yours, Lila. Does yours say jam like mine does?
It says Jen.
What do you need to do?
It says Jen.
Well, she wrote Jan too, right? So we need to make it say jam. We're gonna think of the ending sounds too. Okay. All right. Do we all have it? How do we spell it? J-A-M. Jam. Yep, we boxed it. Erase your boards.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for sharing with me.
Miss Price, I thought this was your eraser.
Well, I'm sharing with you too. You were using
Well,
it, so I
Jake
grabbed
shared
a lot. I can share it with all three of you. right, so are we ready for another one? Let's have one more. Okay. Oh, I'm going to challenge you.
Man.
Okay, are you ready for
Man.
Are you ready? Not man. Than. Like, I am older than you. Than. Okay, write it.
I wrote on your elbow.
Lila, you've got to move over, honey. Your elbow's on the floor.
Tan.
Okay, than. Think about what makes.
TH.
Very good. And what makes. Look at mine. So remember, guys, we're going to make our. We've got to make our letters, form them correctly. T starts all the way up at the skyline and goes all the way down to the grass line. And then we got to make sure we have our glued sound. We've got to do one more thing after we write our word. What's that? Box it, boys and girls. Box that glued sound. Or I thought this one was going to be hard for you, but you guys all got it right. Okay. So, how do we spell than?
THAN. Box it.
And should we be marking it like that, Jadrick? No, erase that. Okay. And we need. Oh, Lila just thought of something too. She said we have to box the AN. What else do we have to do, Lila?
Underline the diagram.
Underline the digraph. What digraph does this word use? TH. So go ahead and underline it. Now, everybody, erase your boards. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to do next. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead and erase your board, boys and girls. After you erase your board, I want you to put the cap.
See the video?
Sorry. And when we're done, I want you to take the top of your marker and put the
I
cap
think
on.
you're the clip. I just put it.
Here, make sure it doesn't just come off. If you pull it lightly and it comes off, it's not tight. Is that tight enough? So-
no clip.
If you don't hear a click, that's okay. So, boys and girls, I'm going to take your boards right now, and I'm going to put them. I'm going to put them right here. Can I have your markers?
I don't have my number
Okay,
on.
it's all right. Can I have your markers?
You're gonna mix it
Okay.
up.
No, Lila's is on the top, and I'll remember. Okay, can I have that? Okay, so now I have another challenge for you. I know you guys can write words, letters. I know you guys can write words with glued sounds. Do you think you can read them?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Right now, Jadrick, can you sit down, please? Sit down. I've got another tool for us to use right now. I've got some highlighters, and I've got a little story right here. And my story has lots of words in it. And my story has lots of words that have am and an. Before we read it, listen, before we read it, to help us out, we're going to take our highlighters. We're going to find all the am words and all the an words, and we're going to box them so that when we go to read them, we know that those are glued sounds, and we can just read them, make the beginning sound, and then say the rest of the word. Sit down, please. So, let's look at our first sentence. Do you see? Look at that first word. Do you see a glued sound?
Yeah.
So what should I do?
Box it.
Box it. So when you get this, we're gonna go through all of the words. And when we'll take them home when we're done. We're gonna box our glued sounds. All of our glued sounds, our am sounds and our an sounds. When we're done, we'll be ready to read. And this will help us. They'll be boxed so that when we go to read, we'll know that those are glued sounds. Okay, who's ready?
Me.
You are?
Me.
Okay. So show me you're ready by sitting down. Okay.